from 1998 to 2013 when I started, it was a nothing business to $1 million to $1.2 million in revenue a year. We're kind of crossing our fingers for a hurricane here, but we're gonna do around $30 million this year.
Wow. Welcome back to Movified. I'm your host, Mark Hirschi, owner of Salmon's Moving and Storage and Ellis Moving and Storage, located in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. As our guest put it, I am 4 hours away from his best friend that lives up in our lake country, up in Kelowna. That's another beautiful city out here in British Columbia, which is super cool. But welcome, everybody. It is Movified Wednesdays with my co-host, Mr. Stephen Reed. What's up, Mr. Reed? What's up? Owner of ReadyRolls.com, the best choice.com, best choice to go to for your VAs and to make your life in any business extremely easy. It's the pathway to success, in my opinion. Also, he's the owner and founder of Big League Movers out in Memphis, Tennessee. What up, Memphis?
What up?
And on deck to
Memphis, USA said you had to talk about your beauty over there.
That's
we
right.
Have beauty. We have the great Mississippi over here. So wanted to give a Memphis shout out. And we got a Memphis guest today. Keep going, Mark. Sorry. You just revved up. You revved up the beauty out there. You revved up Canada this time. I'm fired up.
Oh, boy. Well, Stephen gives me like this Rolodex of all these companies that he owns, and he wants me now to like spitfire them all out. So I can't even get through the spitfire of it without getting cut off. We also have on deck.
It's who I am.
On deck deliveries, your service provider for all logistic needs out in Memphis, Tennessee. And today I am I'm really excited about this guest. Stephen told me a bit about his friend and colleague, Tyler Pattat. And Tyler's also located out in Memphis. And welcome to the show, Tyler.
Yep. Thank you for having me.
Tyler, he is the owner of Service Master by Cornerstone, and I kind of I really kind of want to get into the nitty gritty. So, are you warmed up, Tyler? Like, are you ready to kind of?
In what city? I don't know if you can tell by Tyler's background, but what city are you from, Tyler?
This is my favorite commissioned painting here of all the things I love about Memphis. And now we're opened up in Nashville, so I guess I got to double up on my painting here.
You got to double up.
Get me a new one for Nashville.
It's got to be Tennessee.
That's right.
And you went to college on the other side. So.
Yep. Hey, East Tennessee, here we go.
I'm going to give a little bit of intro to Tyler, if you don't mind. Obviously, we're Memphis boys, so I'm feeling a little bit cocky today. We're outnumbering Mark, but this episode is going to be a banger. I'll say that because Tyler is one of the best entrepreneurs that I've ever learned from. He's one of the best human beings, the best leaders in our community, and he's one of the best leaders in Service Master. His franchise has been number one. I've seen him grow, and he'll tell the story, but I've seen him grow from very little to one of the greatest restoration companies in all this country, and I'm proud to be it's from Memphis. Service Master, number one franchise, I believe, 2023.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
Yeah, but they can't give it to him every year. But probably 2025 is coming. We'll see. We'll see if we're in the running. But I've gotten to be able to work closely with Tyler as he's advanced and grown his business at Service Master. He has taken over from his wonderful in-laws, amazing people. He has grown it from a carpet cleaning service master to a restoration service master. And grown it from very small operations, seen warehouses all around cities. I've seen him grow, and we've been through challenges of scaling together. And so I was thrilled to have our first moving guest on this Movified episode. And so I wanted to kind of give that introduction. Great man, great role model to me. He raises the bar so I can try to reach it every time. So I love every conversation I have with him. So happy to have you on here, Tyler. Welcome.
Steve, thanks. Mark, if you asked me the question, if I wasn't fired up, I'm ready to go now.
Let's
Oh,
go.
perfect. Well, for all those listeners, I mean, I don't even know if you want to keep tuning in because I feel like Steven just kind of gave your whole story away in less than 3 minutes. So
That's all right. We got plenty more.
let's start right from the beginning because those that are listening or watching, most of us that have worked with restoration companies, specifically even myself, we've heard of ServiceMaster. They're a very large North American restoration company, but I kind of want to define and kind of understand for you in your own words. It's ServiceMaster by Cornerstone. So can you kind of elaborate on that and what your services are all about?
Yeah, ServiceMaster by Cornerstone is an independently owned franchise in the ServiceMaster network. That's in Canada and the U.S. And my father-in-law, he purchased a franchise in 2001, 3 years after he started a carpet cleaning company. And we provide fire, water. Shout out, Mark. We provide the commercial and residential fire and water restoration services. Um, Everything from a small inspection on a moisture issue, from an HVAC deal in the middle of the summer, all the way to frozen pipes or hurricane events. We've got a team that chases those across the country. Our franchise is one of 17 that's an SRM franchise that's qualified to do large loss across the country. So we take great pride in servicing our local communities in Memphis and Nashville, and also across the country on our large loss scale.
Before we ever started using a moving CRM, someone asked me, could you 10x what you're doing right now with the current systems and processes you have in place? And I said no. And so he was like, well, then you need to just pull the trigger on the software. And then I saw Smart Moving and it was game over.
Austin joined thousands of moving owners on Smart Moving in 2021. Since then, he's more than doubled his business.
And I always compare Smart Moving to Apple products. It's just so simple, so easy to use, and that's really what's allowed my team to scale and now have 2 branches. And last year we scaled Central Coast Moving over 50% growth.
If you're ready to turn your moving company into a machine that drives profit, not chaos, try Smart Moving.
Being found on the second page of Google is literally like having a billboard in the middle of the desert. Your mama ain't gonna see it. No one's gonna see it. You're on the second page of Google, no one's gonna call, no one's gonna book. Here is the deal. If your business is not ranking on the top of Google, that means your competitors are going to be stealing your customers every single day. So at Rotate Digital, we don't play any guessing games. We use data-driven SEO strategies to make sure Google finds you first so that these Google searches turn into your customers, not your competitors' customers. How do we do it? We do it through AI-driven keyword optimization, exclusive blog networks, backlinking strategies, and honestly, the secret stuff, the proprietary lead attribution software. So what do you get as a result? You get not only good marketing, but now you get clarity into what is bringing you more revenue. So if that's something you want to do, you want to make sure your leads find you and not your competition, go ahead and go to rotatedigital.com, schedule a call, and we'll help you take your business to the top of Google.
So when we see those SRM logos, those big trailers, usually going to where everybody's leaving. That's a different brand of ServiceMaster. That's a national. Tell me a little bit about that SRM part.
Yeah, there's 17 franchises in the country that have that franchise designation. It's anything from capabilities to the financial auditing, having the financials to be able to carry the load on those large losses. We partner with carriers, property owners, big companies across the country that have multiple locations. So, we've got FedEx, IP, multiple major national headquartered companies here in Memphis that we have the ability to go and service across the country.
Wow. I've never seen the SMI trucks before, and to me, it's all about diversifying your company. And when you can get certified in certain specific niche areas within your business, I mean, the potential of growth is huge because now you're the people to call on. It's what me and Steven tell all the people all the time. Like, if you are just your regular mover, like, yes, you can be the best mover in your town and dominate the hometown, but if you can really niche in whether it's the senior relocation, maybe it's the packing services, you know, there's an array of areas that you can really perfect and get certified on. You're winning because you're the ones that they're going to call on. Before you did this, obviously you got your father-in-law. He kicks into 2001. He's got his carpet cleaning business, buys his franchise, you know, just like everybody. I remember back in the day, everybody's like, oh yeah, I just signed a deal with U-Haul and now I get to park my trucks. There are U-Haul trucks here at my location and now I can expand my services. Then people realize they're like, how do I get out of this? Right? Like what I just get caught into? Maybe this wasn't the deal. This wasn't all for me. What did the business feel like? Like the work, the people, the pressure, before you? Because you're probably just like a bystander on the side, married to the daughter, going like, oh, let's see what my father-in-law's up to.
Yeah, so started back to when this actually happened. This is way before I was ever, you know, I was just a little kid running around in the neighborhood somewhere. I think he got canned on a Friday and went to Sunday school on Sunday and said, hey, I got a prayer request. I lost my job. And he'd been in the airline industry for 30 years and then had been doing some logistics stuff for 5 years. And in trying to figure out what he was going to do, he had a buddy in Sunday school that said, hey, I got a carpet cleaning van somebody gave me. And I don't do anything with carpet cleaning, so I'll give it to you and give you some leads and see where it goes. And then, so, you know, he's like, all right, what else am I going to do, right? Starts cleaning carpet, gets some contracts. People are calling him saying, hey, you know, you clean our carpets, but I've got a running toilet in this bedroom up here in this apartment building. And as the years go by, he sees an ad in the paper that's a Service Master franchise in Memphis, Tennessee. And he's like, well, I'm getting into this. I might as well go ahead and get the insurance leads, and starts the restoration business. On September 11th, 2001 is when he signed his contract in Service Master. And so, you know, that day was a terrible day, and that's how he had to start his business with Service Master. And, you know, the whole goal of his franchise, Service Master by Cornerstone, was, hey, it's my third career. I want to put my kids through school. I want them to be debt free when they get through college, and I want to just provide for my family in the later years of my life. And I ended up meeting his daughter at the University of Tennessee. Go Vols! We're rocking and rolling right now. And I get into JB Hunt Transportation. I'm climbing the corporate ladder. I'm going to have to move, and we're starting a family. And my father-in-law says, hey, you know, I've got some culture problems. I'm on the last leg of my career, and I'm just looking for some energy. I'm looking for something to pick up the business and to really set this thing on fire. And I'm here to stick around. I'll take a chance on you. You take a chance on me, and let's do something special. And you know, you talk to family and you talk to friends, and everybody said, never go into family business. Don't do it. It's the dumbest thing you could ever do. And it was one of the best things that I've ever done. I can tell you that I don't have any regrets. We've had a lot of challenges. We've had a lot of hard conversations, but man, it's been fun picking up the baton. And I tell everybody, I didn't start this thing from the ground up, but man, I had a foundation and I had some shoulders to stand on to look over the top and see what was possible. And then once you can see what's possible, you can really take this thing to the next level and go get it.
Right. Y'all didn't have a plan that was, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, but it found you guys. That's pretty neat for both of you, you and your father-in-law, Mark.
I always think when your father-in-law got involved in there, especially when he took over the franchise, was there, when he's coming to you saying there's this cultural issue, I really need someone to kind of light the fire back into the company, what was going through your mind? Because this is now an industry that you've never been in, something brand new that you're going to have to learn, probably get certified in different areas. Like, how's that for a change of pace?
Well, I'll humbly say this. Being an account manager and an operations manager in the trucking industry in 2010, 2011, 2012, it's that world where there was a like majority of the truck drivers were 60 plus years old, and here I am, a 22, 23-year-old guy coming in trying to learn the culture and understand, like, all right, you've got to get out there and do a safety inspection with a truck driver. He's not going to take you seriously, right? If you're trying to meet DOT regulation, you got to get out there and do it with them. And that was very that was something I learned early in my business years of, like, you can't just sit back and tell somebody to do something or expect them to do it if you're not going to go do it yourself. It's like it's the easiest thing to say, and but you got to get up and go do it. And so when my father-in-law approached me and he was like, "Hey man, I've got this and this and this," I'm going, "Well, I don't know the technical aspects, but I kind of know the business aspects because I've been running this huge P&L over here of these accounts, and I also know the culture aspect of it is like kind of got to get off your butt and go do it." So I just there was really not a worry in my mind about doing it. It was making sure that it got done the right way.
Was he turning around, and I can only imagine like this family meeting that you guys are having, and he's trying to, like, all right, here's some bourbon. Let's sit down and have a little talk. You're going to try and snag my daughter away to move to a different country and my grandkids. I'm going to maybe give some percentages of the company away. I desperately need you to come in here, or I'm going to chop you up and put you in the back of a Cadillac. Like, how like, how was the conversation kind of going? Like,
It was the conversation was more, "Hey, you've got some energy. I got faith in you. I don't know why God's put this on my heart, but He definitely has." And he said, I guess the biggest thing was like, "Hey, we don't have to fix this thing overnight. I'm gonna stick around for a few years. I'm gonna let you do what you want to do. Like, just communicate and talk to me about it. I'm not. It wasn't like we're gonna micromanage it. There was in the time in that business, or our business in that time, everybody knew, even as an outsider looking in. And my wife at the time was in the business. My mother-in-law and father-in-law were all working in the business. At that time, everybody knew that there needed to be a shakeup. But everybody was willing to find what the shakeup needed to be and work on it together. And so that's what made the story the perfect story on what happened next.
I love that, and I love hearing the fact that you had your mother-in-law, you had your wife, everybody. It was a family affair. This wasn't my wife working somewhere else, and my father-in-law has his business. He's got these guys working for him and everything. It's, hey, this is a family affair. This is going to be really important. Did you go to the congregation? Did you go to the church? Was there like a prayer involved of like what was the right decision on here? Was this more of like a family get together to pray over the business to see the success?
We focused on it. It was a family deal for my wife and I pulled back and we got some counseling just from different aspects of different people that we know. We prayed about it together. My in-laws were praying about it. I mean, the cultural impact of the business at that time is very, I wouldn't say toxic, but it was volatile. Everybody was looking for something to shake it up and lead. And no fault to my father-in-law. He was ready to. I mean, he was in his 60s, so he was ready to step away and pass the baton. And so when you don't know what that plan is, he didn't know getting into this business he would get it to where it was, right? So when a lot of entrepreneurs, they kind of set a plan, and everybody that you get consulting from is like, you need to start with the end in mind, but he didn't have that opportunity. He had to go make a dollar, right? And so he was kind of putting his end in mind as he went. And so like God ordained that situation, put us all in that aspect, in that boat together, and we were just able to work through it and focus on the right things, focus on the communication together, and the rest is history.
Hey everyone, Matty Mailers here, the guy who pioneered handwritten letters for the moving industry. Why? Because my competition at my moving company was using the same stock postcards as me, and my mailing company didn't care. So I created a better way. Here's some mind-blowing results in July. Miracle Movers Utah closed $93,000 using our handwritten letter strategy. With our campaigns, you can forget about the guessing games. You get a trackable phone number, daily photo proof, an incredible design team, and I'm also included. All letters stop at me for approval before they ever leave our facility. Right now, Movified listeners get 1,000 golden tickets stuffed in our genuine handwritten letters completely free. Plus, I'm going to throw in bulk realtor data for up to 5 counties. What are you waiting for? Moving Letters AI. Stop competing, start dominating.
If you're considering Snowball, just do it.
Snowball creates done-for-you referral programs for moving companies so you can turn happy customers into new revenue without lifting a finger. And the results speak for themselves.
In less than a year, we've collected over 2,000 referrals.
We generated over $200,000 of revenue that cost about $5,000 to do it.
I believe we have 4 or 5 the very first day.
The companies winning with Snowball are the ones that already care about their customers. We just help turn that into new business through human outreach and customer nurturing.
Snowball is part of the arsenal of tools that I recommend to my clients because it works.
I want to, I kind of want to jump into the cultural aspect of things, if you don't mind, Stephen, because, I come from, acquiring a business where you walk in and there's a variety of age gap. There's guys and gals that have been within the company 20, 30 years. There's cultural differences. You are dealing with volatile employees that are, already kind of one foot out the door because, like you said, a young buck kind of walks in here and says, hey, all right, like I'm in here, not on your first meeting to shake things up, but things need to change. What was your overview when you
24? So he was definitely a young buck. 26 maybe.
This is 2013, so yeah, I'm 37, so that's probably, yep, that was 24, 25.
Yeah, so he's truly a young buck coming in.
So you walk into the business, you assess everything. You're kind of, this is let's fast forward 2-3 months in. What are you noticing that had to be the biggest impact of change? I mean, you can imagine the culture, obviously, but what were some of those small tweaks that walking in there you saw this will make us grow? Like, this is going to really pivot the company.
First thing, we had to make payroll. That was, you're talking about dealing with insurance companies and having to float these big terms. The first week I walk into the business, we had a big tax bill that happenstance. There was a turnover in the accounting department, and my mother-in-law got back involved, and next thing you know, the CPA had messed up a report here and there, and now you got this big tax bill because we're on cash basis, and boom, taxes. I start April 1st and tax bill comes on April 15th. It's time to make the tax payment. And oh, by the way, here comes payroll. And 4 days into it, I'm going, oh my gosh, like, that something, what? I don't think I was disclosed all this information, right? And it wasn't that. It was an issue. But we went and did it. We went to the bank and we dipped into the line of credit. We made payroll, made the tax payment, and then I just said, I got to go to work. I got to start making money. And then We had different divisions in the business. So we had water damage and we had carpet cleaning. And water damage consisted of some water damage, some contents, some moving, some storage, but I didn't know what was what. And so, within 6 months, we had kind of looked into each division and said, what are we making money in and what are we not making money in? And whatever we're not making money in, I'm not spending a single second of my time on that, right? I'm going all in on the things that I'm making money on. And that's what it took. You had to show up and show out, and that was the biggest thing that every one of us did. At the end of the day, you had to show up and show out, answer the call.
Do you still carry over the same values originally that Mark has, or y'all shifted? Is there any of those core values you've kept since that time?
Well, when I walked in, Service Master, their core value is honor God in all you do, developing people. They've got the core. They've got the core things of Service Master as a whole. When I came in, we started working pretty heavily together on what we wanted our values to be, and integrity, consistency, innovation. Like, keep it to those three things. Let's move this business and do it the right way. Let's do it consistently so we can continue to have a brand, a Cornerstone brand. At the time when I started, there were 5 Service Masters, and now in Memphis, and now there's 2. And I take a lot of pride in that, because it's like we have stood the test of time through a lot of things with the way the industry's moved, and full service and the construction, and then you've got COVID. I mean, we have provided a consistent product, and so that's a value of ours, and doing it a new way, like always looking for a different, better, efficient way and innovation. When I started, everything was on a piece of paper, and in 2013, that's kind of how the world worked. But between 2013 and 2020, we all know what happened. If you weren't converting to the most sophisticated technology, you were basically gone. You were out of business. And so that was kind of I give credit to my father-in-law. He was like, I don't have the energy to do this, but I got to find somebody that will, and run with the value of it. And so those 3 values, my father-in-law, he always had. Integrity, obviously the biggest one. Consistency, they did it forever, but I kind of brought in that innovative mindset and being able to kind of turn this thing over to a different way of doing things.
Certainly did. A lot of the things that you put in place, us working with you, you raised our bar on tech on that. So I can certainly attest to that.
Well, yeah, tech is huge, especially during that time period if you're not evolving as well too, and especially in the restoration side of things. I mean, I know when we work with restoration companies, they all use a program called Encircle. I don't know if it's also down in the States as well too, but documentation's key. And
not with the tariffs.
No, it's a big markup now. The
tariffs over there.
Are we talking about Americans here, Stephen, or are we talking? We're the ones that are just getting ripped off. But don't get me started on that. Is that my point of view? But I always tell this to so many people. If you get an opportunity to, whether it's working with film industry or restoration business, and if you even want to apply this to staging companies, interior designers, you get 3 moves. Right? And you also can get packing involved in there as well too. And if you're not using the application, especially for restoration companies, if you are photographing everything, if you're documenting everything, if you are taking your service to this whole next level, which is, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no problem, we'll get this done. You give us a call and we'll be there at 9:00 at night. If there was a flood, things got to get packed out, done. We're there. Right? Get those dehumidifiers.
It's a whole different mindset.
It is
a shift in mindset.
But as the moving company, when you can work and get on the vendor list for a restoration company and you've shifted that mindset, that extra step above the rest, all the rest of the jobs actually start becoming much easier. Because if you just apply this now across the board, you have no idea that customer service experience for any local COD move, whether it's long distance move, anything. And if you're providing that same level of service, they're going, geez, I've never seen this before. Like this is amazing. Like you're documenting everything, you're photograph. It's also saving you from claims. It's like the worst thing, because I'll tell you one thing, you can't file a claim with a restoration company because it's already a claim, guys. It's already a claim. You're usually paying full pop. If that, lamp got broken, you're not going back to the restoration company going, oh, hey, sorry, Tyler, it's only 60 cents the pound. Tyler's going to go, great. Next moving company. Who's next? This is
I
the
can't tell
service
you
I'm getting.
how many moving companies I got to before I met Steve Reed. And look, it's all about showing up. When something happens, we just got to make sure it's right. I mean, it's, in our industry, something is going to happen. We understand that in the moving industry. We understand that in the restoration industry. It's about what you respond with. And I've had moving companies that are like, well, that's not my problem. Dude, it just came off of your truck. I'm not saying it's all your problem, but it's our problem. And you are literally removing yourself from this conversation, and I don't like it. So, yeah, I get it, Mark. I get it.
Yeah, that's to say to the movers that are listening to this, it's a different relationship. They're hiring you, they're trusting you to cover your stuff and other vendors that they're getting the project done with. So if you're coming back with problems, they're going to see it as that's a problem. I got to figure out my own way to do this a different way.
And when the problem happens, fix it and handle it, right? Expedite that as fast as possible, and you raise that claim to the top of the list and make sure they're taken care of, because they're the ones that are going to get the phone call from the client. And if that client's happy and saying, yeah, you know what, Big League Movers stepped in, they took care of everything. You know what, that lamp that got broken, they've already found a replacement and it's coming to me next week. And they're touching base with Tyler's team, whoever the project manager is. They're going, man, those guys are on top of it. Like, I can trust that when something happens, it's going to get fixed.
And that's the relationship. That's the relationship 100%, is knowing that you're working with a business from Tyler's perspective that cares about the business and cares about the clients. And things are going to happen, but it's all about how we address those things. Because this world, do you think we deal with a lot of moving and restoration? You deal with a lot of crazy stuff, and even more stress than the third thing in moving, right? People are having a crisis. Their house is flooded. They didn't know they were moving. So it adds another element of stress. Right. So anyway, we're getting a little off topic. That's what I do. So I'll let Mark bring it back.
Oh no, I was just going to finish off with the fact that on Tuesday, my kids were taking a bath, and as the water was draining on the master bedroom, I went down to the basement and realized, oh shit, that drain pipe is leaking, and the water was like seeping through, through the wallpaper or like through the paint, and you could see the bubbles of water and everything. And when you have relationships with restoration companies and you're phoning your insurance company, and I was like, great, I got to put a claim, I got to get this thing figured out. And when the restoration companies you deal with phones you up and they're looking at your email address and they're like, Salmons. They're like, who's this? I'm like, Mark. Instantly had someone at my door within 2 hours putting dehumidifiers and fans up and everything else and making sure things are taken care of. So it does pay to have relationships with restoration companies when it does happen to you.
No one thinks it's going to happen, but it's going to happen.
But it's going to happen, and you don't expect of it.
We had that COVID case. We had a COVID case, and man, my office was so proud of me. Like, it was during the height of it, so everybody's scared of it or whatever. And my relationship with Tyler paid off in the fact that we had somebody that got it and had a full office that day, and everybody was nervous. But within 30 minutes, I cleared out the office, and Tyler was spraying the whole thing. Came in with the hazmat suits and everything. But my staff couldn't have been more happy with me that happened and how that was handled for weeks. Right? They were comfortable coming back into work and stuff. So I've had the benefit of having their fast response team ready and waiting on that side. It's impressive.
Man, what an age we all dealt with through that time.
Gosh.
Tyler, your family tells us a story about a time everything almost fell apart, right? And someone had stepped in with a belief and a loan. What actually happened, and how did it change the inside of your family?
Yeah, so when my father-in-law started this business, he came from one business on Friday and started it on Monday, and it was like, hey, I need a bailout, I need an opportunity. Somebody have anything? And the guy said, I don't have a need for a carpet cleaning van, but you can pay me back whenever you have the money to do it. And gave him some contacts, and he started hustling it on Monday, and grew it into a multi-truck carpet cleaning company. And from 1998 to 2013, when I started, it was a nothing business to $1 million to $1.2 million in revenue a year. And we'll do, we're kind of crossing our fingers for a hurricane here, but we're gonna do around $30 million this year.
Wow. That is some amazing growth.
That's what I mean. That's why I wanted to bring Tyler on. It's amazing growth that I've witnessed. Very close. It needs to be heard out there.
Hey, it's Mark with Movified, and I'm here to talk about Canada Home Listings. They are the only direct mailer service built specifically for household good movers in Canada. That's right, my hometown. They help moving companies reach homeowners the moment they list their home with proven mail campaigns that drive results. And for the Movified listeners, they're offering exclusive promotions you won't find anywhere else. So go check them out today. Go online, go do your thing, and go find them. Canada Home Listings right now. Go. And then keep watching the show. Steven has to go see a barber. No, I'm quiet because I'm thinking Steven actually has to go see a barber. Tyler has the barber come to him and just clip the mustache a little bit. When you get to that $30 million mark, it's a little bit different, little twist of the mustache. You know what? The last
a mustache is big in Tennessee right now, so we're rocking it. We're doing the best we can.
He's not changing anything unless the Vols lose. Right? Nothing's
right.
changed on Tyler while they're undefeated.
I've had this thing since season started.
That's right.
Well, listen, this is a great pivot because guess what, guys?
Now let's talk about Tyler's time. Yeah, on that side. Let's talk about Tyler's time on for the 30 million growth a little bit.
Yeah, you're close, but right now it's time for Dolly Dash. So here's the segment. Let's kick it over to Dolly Dash. Roll the tape. It is Mark Hirschi with Movified. This is the Dolly Dash moment. This is the Titan edition. I got Mark here. How's it going, big guy?
Oh, man, blessed. Highly favored.
I love it. Definitely a name I will never forget. You are out in Austin.
Yes.
Right? Texas?
Austin, Texas. In-N-Out Movers.
And what's the company name?
In-N-Out Movers.
In-N-Out Movers.
Get your burger.
In-Out. I know, right? What a good play of words. How long have you been around?
Since 2019.
2019.
Yes,
so
sir.
coming on 6 years, what was the biggest impact coming to this event that you want to implement with your team tomorrow? I guess Monday.
Monday. So one of the biggest impacts for me is just finding out those core values, sitting down with my team and seeing like what's important to them and see how we can align those core values so we can be like just the best culture we can be.
Keep it tight.
Keep it tight, keep it right. That's it.
Right. There's been a lot of speakers up on stage these last 2 days. What's the biggest takeaway that you want to implement for yourself?
One of my biggest takeaways I want to implement is this AI. I've been hearing a lot about it. Right now, we don't have that. We're not using that into our business. So I want to learn more about that and see how we can implement that in 2026.
I like it. Traveling out here, everybody packs their luggage. Most guys, like Austin Yarbrough, that's walking by, always forgets. Always forgets something in his luggage. What's one thing that you wish you'd have packed that you'd have brought on this trip?
More business cards. Just start passing them out like quizzes. Like, would have packed more business cards with me. Yeah.
I like it. Last and final question. You see yourself as a 6-year-old moving company. You're at this event. This is your first time here, right?
First time, yes.
First time here. What would you tell other moving company owners that
are here that they definitely need to be doing?
Definitely connect, like, connecting with you, connecting with your team, and just different people in general, because, it's a lot of knowledge and experience that I have that you may not have. And there's a lot that you have, I don't. And so it's just connecting with as many people as you can and seeing what holds value to you and where you are right now.
Now, Mark, you weren't following that teleprompter behind you. It says, follow Movified Podcast. Follow Movified Podcast. We won't edit the first answer out, but I'll keep it out. Hey, Mark, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, cheers. Let's go.
And we are back. That was great. I always love a good Dolly Dash moment. Tyler, so like let's kick it into high gear. You jump in. It's been what we're at 12 years now since you've been in the business. We just finished off before where, you're taking a company, and I love how people are always like, hey, listen, I took over a company. It was maybe doing a couple $100,000. I brought it to a couple million. I am living life, right? Maybe the profit margin's doing well and everything else. You guys come in there. Where does that growth change? Where now you're like, wow, okay, we're doing 10 million. Our next goal is 15, then 20. We're on roll to target 30 million, this year. The conversations that I've had with a lot of business owners going, man, there's great sweet spots in business, and sometimes it's more of a headache, more of a pain for that threshold when now, hey guys, like we're this big. It's that perspective where people go, man, they must be making tons of money, and you're like, perspective, just different expenses. Harder cash flow, more people to pay out, right? So where were some of those pain points that you were going, okay, I'm gonna take a step back and we really need to assess the numbers again because things are failing?
Yeah, I think that the hardest thing for me was understanding that there was you had to look further than everybody else was. You had to be 10 steps ahead of everybody else that's behind you. And that's a challenge today. I couldn't, again, there's no hit to my father-in-law. I couldn't call my father-in-law and say, hey, how do you run a $5 million business? How do you run a $10 million business? Tell me how you kept this thing going at 15 million. All right. How do we sustain 20? And so, it's creativity. It's that third value of innovation. It's staying ahead, looking at what the entire economy's doing through different transitions of leadership over the last 10, 12 years, going from some good years to some down years to the COVID years to all kinds of things economically. And I'm not involved in any of that stuff. I didn't go to school for any of that. But how do you become a better leader in your business? And you've got to go find that. You've got to my time at night is not falling asleep going, "Oh my gosh, how am I going to better culture tomorrow?" Like, I've got people that work here that they need to be thinking of that. I need to be thinking about how can we continue to provide for 50 people, and how do we get this thing to 100 people, and how do we keep growing to 200 people? Those are the things that I stay up at night thinking about and challenging myself, and that's just staying ahead with a very acute portion of the business. I'll focus with a business consultant. If I feel like there's a dip in it, I'll get back into it, and we'll really attack that. I really go into dive in head first on the things that I'm trying to keep a pulse on, and if I feel like something's not right there, we just dive straight in and we focus directly in on that as we go culturally.
We recently hired Ready Rolls to help us with hiring some offshore help, some DAs, and they've done an amazing job. They found the perfect candidate for our company. Not only that, they helped answer the questions that we had about the process. Initially, hiring a BA can be a bit intimidating, but they answered all the questions. It's been an amazing experience. Our BA has been a huge part of our success thus far. We're actually in the process of hiring a few more right now. Definitely see them as being a key part of our growth and reaching our goals in 2025.
And another game changer for our company. I'm confident to be a game changer.
Visit ReadyRolls.com. There is now a better way to scale.
I love it. It's like a yes or no answer.
Well, I was just trying to figure out, like, EOS would be really tough to do in Tyler because he's had so many departments, right? So that system would be very difficult with him because he'd have 6 different EOS meetings.
I know. All right. I can't leave him alone. I got to stay on top of him like all the time. He's always trying to fuck around with something on the system. When you're looking at it and I love that vision because, I've been told so many times, they're like, Mark, you're the visionary of the company. There needs to be more delegation on those that are thinking of, hey, how do we do the culture differently? How are we going to grow here? What are we going to, how do we improve this system? And for me, I'm more of like, okay, I got this to think about. Who were some of the main people that you had to put in play to handle those roles?
Yeah, you've got to have operations. You've got to have a financial understanding of what's going on in the business, and you got to understand how to connect with people. And I don't think that every single one of those people have to be a doctorate or a PhD in every single one of those. But I have had to hire to my weakness like 100% of the time. I mean, I have had people that do it way better than me in the technical aspect, in the understanding of somebody, but at the same time, they also, and I pride myself and will say this humbly, that they respect my input too. And I can come in and say, hey, look, I know that I'm not in the day-to-day of this every single day, but to serve the customer and to do this at the best of our ability and represent Cornerstone, let's come together and solve this. And this is what I'm seeing. And like, if you're not, I just don't see how a business like ours, in a very empathetic state, like you're showing up on someone's worst nightmare. They didn't plan this. It doesn't matter if you're a business owner or it's your residential home. When we show up, they don't want us there. So we have to sell our ability to them and make it worth like their next 30, 40, 50 days. And for us to be able to do that, you've got to have people that are empathetic, but also follow a process. You can't do that nationally and not follow a process. You can't go do a $21 million reconstruction job in Ohio or do an $8 million rebuild after a hurricane in South Florida, or lead the contractor charge onto Sanibel Island after Hurricane Ian, paying off the mafia to get across the bay to get to the Sanibel Island. You can't do that if you don't have a team that is constantly trying to build together. If you're not building together, you are nothing, because you can have a bunch of people rowing in a different direction, and all you're doing is circling the wagon. And I've used that analogy a few times in my leadership meeting. You can't circle the wagon, and we do, but we just focus the conversation on moving forward and rowing together.
Trying to use that in my next management meeting.
Yeah, I say it. We talk until we talk, but I say it almost every day to our team. Get the paddles in the water and watch what the others are doing. Stay in the same direction. Keep going.
Row in the same direction.
Yes, absolutely. Don't put that paddle and just sit there.
I got a YouTube video for that if you want it.
That's awesome. Yeah. And Tyler, if you watch this show, I mean, you never even know. Sometimes his camera starts zooming in on him. You get a shot of like his eye.
It's the ADHD, guys. I fidget with stuff.
Can you imagine that he buys a camera that also has the same ADHD as he does and just starts tweaking all over the place? His mic does. It just starts twitching like all
I
over
do
the place.
imagine it. I do imagine it.
It's wild. Okay. Like I kind of want to get like a bit of like a sequence check here because you're growing the business. At what stage are you turning around? Because obviously your in-laws were aging out already at that time that you came in. You now go in and want to buy them out. We just said before in the beginning, working with family can be interesting. It can be a blessing in disguise. I will cherish the times that I got to spend with my father when I had the first moving company and he came in and we got to work together all the time. And, to me, there were moments of working together that's always a struggle. There's moments of working together that they're everlasting memories because you sometimes don't get that opportunity if you're off doing your own business and they're off retired or, it's dynamics of a family. But also when money gets involved and you're buying shares out or you're buying out the company, it can also get convoluted. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, what was that process like? At what stage was the company when you purchased it? And especially where it's like, what's the big phrase? I'm the captain now, right? Like the responsibility is now all mine. And what was at stake at that point?
Yeah, I think
it's a fully loaded question. Yeah.
In all transparency, father-in-law sitting right next to me, he'd say the same thing and he'd agree with it. We had the timing of this thing was so perfect for not only personally, the family, but also the way the industry was moving, the way the Service Master Corporate was moving. We had to go through so many changes and so many qualifications and things that had to happen as a business just to get work from corporate. And that was inclusive of, had to roll out technology, had to do all this stuff on devices in technicians' hands. And, that was in 2015 and I started in April of 2013. So, 2 years later, the business is completely different and I'm zero equity stake owner in the business. And so we get to 2017 and I call Steven and I say, Steven, I got a problem. I got to start up a construction company because nobody can do it better than me. And guess what? I don't know anything about construction. But nobody can do it better than us. And he said, I got a guy, I got a friend, he's our age, I'll connect you. We met at Perkins at 7 a.m. and the rest is history. He started. We started a few months later, and now we do. Gosh, now we do 15, 16, 17 million dollars in construction a year. And so, when you go through those moments, that timing with my in-laws was very, like, it had kind of outgrown what they were used to or knew, but they had enough faith. And even then, my father-in-law sent me a text message every day, hey, buddy, I'm praying for you. I don't know what I'm praying for, but I'm praying for you. And, he's my biggest fan, right? So there's nothing better than knowing that, he's in my corner. He may not be able to help me out with the business itself, but he can listen. He can hear me out if I have an employee problem or a customer problem. At the end of the day, it was a very easy transition. So we bought in 2018. In 2019, at the end of 2018, we were $6.5 million in revenue. So we had grown from 2013 about 1 million to 6.5 million at the end of 2018, and then basically from January. And
this is back when Tyler and I used to be able to benchmark, and then he went.
Yeah,
went way past.
Yep. So yeah, but the first 6 months, I didn't benchmark anything. It was a terrible. Like we were literally twiddling our thumbs for 6 months, and I was like, we're fixing to lay off everybody, and this thing's fixing to shut down. Like in the restoration company, everybody goes, well, how do you budget a restoration company? Don't ask me that question. Still don't know how to budget a restoration company. But I will tell you that when you have opportunities, you better take them, because we got a phone call on May 27th, 2019, sent our entire company to Dayton, Ohio, and over the next 18 months did a $28 million job. And 3 days after that phone call came in, our hometown flooded, and we had nobody here to do any of the work. And so what do? We figured it out, and we capitalized on it, and we serviced our own community. And we learned a lot in that, and we figured out how to scale and contract quickly and do all the services that we needed in everything. Big League was there. They packed out every home, probably 30 homes. We ran all the inventories. We had no issues. I mean, it was like clockwork. I mean, it was boom, 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 boom on all these houses in these floods. And then we had a $28 million job, which we've never done $28 million in 1 year, much less one job that's 13 hours away from us. And so talking about growing up and having to pull up your big boy britches and get it done, we did it. And that's how we got to where we are. We answered the call. We said, if the phone's going to ring, we're going to say yes. And if somebody says they need something, we're going to stand up and we're going to do it for them.
And the shout out, I got to give a shout out to Chris, since we mentioned him. That was the construction manager. And I got to say, from Chris to go from where they met, I connected them not on Chris's experience. I connected them on, these are two guys that I know pretty well that are continuously improving and trying to learn to grow something every day. And they're interested in the same thing. And those two guys, not too long later, figured out how to do a $28 million construction job and did it dang well. So these are some of the biggest self-learners I've ever seen and been a part of it. And I was grateful to be a part of it. I had to have some conversations with both of them during the stress of like, hey, we got it. Let's figure it out.
And he's pheasant hunting today, and I'm here at the office working.
Tyler, when we hear this all the time, you get a big contract, right? The guys go, hey, listen, I got a whole hotel, contract where we're servicing.
These guys are going to think we're a lot more country than we are with that comment there, right there. Like, oh yeah, he's pheasant hunting, and I just kind of shook my head. That's uncommon. We don't just go pheasant hunting in Memphis.
I don't believe that for one second. He's in
South Dakota.
Yeah, he's South Dakota.
He's pheasant hunting in his own backyard. We get these accounts, right? We're like, man, I just fucking scored like a $2 million contract. This is going to be explosive for my next year. 2026 is going to be the booming. I'm now going to hit that different threshold. Awesome. Great. Right? Just like you guys get this massive contract. It's, almost a $30 million contract. It's a year-long project. The next year comes on. You've had to expand the operations. You've got all this stuff that's happening. How do you stay above water? Like, how do you stay consistent where you're like, okay, great. Like, when's the next big project? How do you what is that thought process of going, guys, okay, great. Like, we're hitting 30 million this year, plus, because we still have everything else going on. We're forecasting for next year. My accountant's going to lose his mind when we tell them, hey, guess what? We're back down to 15 or 10 million. Because we don't have those big contracts.
We can hope and wish all we want for the big whales. Like, don't ever give up on your local market and what you do, what your bread and butter is. There's no reason. Like, you can say it's a headache, or you can say dealing with you got to do 100 jobs to the one big job, right? But that's what you got in business doing. Don't walk away from it. You can't sell out for that. And so we've stayed very, very true to that. We've stayed very consistent. Man, has it been hard? It's been so hard, because you can get this big shiny nickel out there and you're like, man, this is great. At the same time, as soon as we send everybody from Memphis there's something that happens in Memphis. And then we're calling Steve, and we're like, Steve, you got movers don't know restoration, but can we teach them restoration in a day? And he's like, no.
We can figure it out.
We can figure it out. But at the end of the day, you can't sell out for the big one just for the sake of what you already do every day. You just can't do it. You can go create those opportunities and then say yes to them and figure them out. But don't ever sell out for the big one. Go stay true to where you are, and then if you're really good at what you do locally, go do it again. Like branch out, do it again. We did that in Nashville, and our Nashville office right now is absolutely killing it in the Service Master brand. And we're doing
shout out Nashville,
local mitigation, local contents cleaning. We're just rinse and repeating what we're doing. And so that's what we're focused on doing as Cornerstone. And then our SRM division, we get those big hits. Let's go service those customers and kill it for them.
Fuck, I love it.
Where's the furthest you've been?
Right now we're in New Mexico. We're in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We've done, right on it. We're doing a job. We've done a job in New Jersey. We're on a job in, West Virginia.
All right, I'm gonna hit you here now because we're gonna, me, Steven, it's almost time to wrap out this hour. I want to keep people engaged. We're gonna hit this
I know
box
we can
of
talk
truth.
all day, Joe Rogan style.
Oh, well, Tyler, I'm telling you right off the bat, like we're going to do an episode 2 because I want to get more into the nitty gritty. There was a bunch of questions I wanted to hit on.
We got a lot more to talk about, on that side. You brought up one that you had to get the mafia involved. That's a whole episode. I don't know if anybody
exactly.
caught that.
All right, box of truth. Here we go. Get ready. Some fire questions.
60 seconds, Tyler.
When did you actually pray over payroll, and what changed the next week?
Week 1, got a loan, and then figured it out after the fact.
I love that story. And people that have listened on the show have heard about my story of when I bought Salmons, and the loan bank said, "Where's your business plan?" I said, "I don't have one, but here's 3 years of financials, and God has always provided for me, and you can see growth every year, so I'll know I'll get the loan whether it's you or somebody else." And they gave me the loan. I had nothing laid out for what was going to happen. I just said, it's going to happen. What did the grind cost your family before you fixed it?
A lot of hard conversations at night. Probably not the same understanding, but marrying into the restoration world, they kind of knew what had to happen, and everybody at that point knew that Cornerstone was providing for more people. So we all answered the call. We all showed up. We, questions stopped, and we kept answering the call.
Oh, God. I love the fact that when I was overviewing this, I didn't really catch this question, but I'll say it anyways. I have a bunch of other ones going on. So, Tyler, you're a Ready Roll client. What did your custom roll start doing that saved your company time, especially in the crunch weeks?
We were doing contents billing after the fact of doing the contents job. So we hired inside ReadyRolls.com to manufacture our contents billing as we went. So every day when we wake up, all the contents billing, cleaning, storage, everything from the day before is all done, and we know exactly what we're doing contents-wise every single day.
Oh, that's so important. I think that's
save you versus a position you would have to hire over here.
$100,000.
.com. That's readyrolls.com.
Oh my God. All right. Complete this. I hire for blank. I fire for blank.
I hire for character. I fire for attitude.
You hear that, Steven? That's why you could never get a job there.
That's what the difference
I know.
is.
I've tried.
I know.
They
He's
won't
a
take
saucy.
the interview.
No, I believe it. All right, finish this.
That's what the difference is.
What's the difference?
Character's your DNA. Attitude, you have an opportunity to walk in and be in control of it. And if you're not able to be in control of it, then your DNA ain't right.
Damn, that's fire. It's so good.
You got to imbalance.
It's so true. It's so true. It's people, are you listening? Like it's a fact. Okay, last one. Finish this. Belief without structure is
a wasted opportunity.
Facts.
Go back to
without a pause on that too. He nailed that without a pause.
Go back to your attitude. If you're the newest employee in our organization and you have a belief that something should be changed and different, you have every opportunity to walk right into my office and us discuss it and talk about it. Not saying that we hadn't already thought about it, but telling you, if you have a belief and there's no structure to it, it's a wasted opportunity.
Totally. I love that. That's
I got one. I got one real quick.
Go.
Tyler, if you could tell your younger self who just stepped into that operation one thing, what would it be?
Want more for your employees than from your employees.
Mic drop. For sure. Yeah, I wish I could tell my younger self that as well. That would have saved a lot.
Want more for them than from them.
So good. Yeah, I love all these like crazy, just dead pauses. It's all these like great sayings, and you just catch us almost off guard. Being Steve, just like tentatively listening, Tyler.
I know,
and I hope everybody else is too. I hope everybody else is too. This is gold today. Tyler, this has been great. I really appreciate it.
He's gonna be back.
He's going to be back. He has to be back. I won't take no. I'll have to come out to Memphis myself and wrangle him, and we'll sit down in his his barber shop.
As you know, we're very safe now. Come on. We want visitors. We're very safe. Come see Grayson.
That's right. That's right. Listen, if you are watching this episode and you have questions for Tyler, hit us up in the comments, whether it's on Spotify or YouTube or Apple Podcasts.
I got to do one quick drop for him too. Mark, he does do, just like he's done for me, he does do consulting. So guys that are interested in this, interested in getting the content, interested in getting in a Service Master franchise, seeing if that would be growth for them. Tyler, how do they get a hold of you?
You can catch me on any of my social media handles, Instagram, touch base with these guys at Movified, and we'll connect and get started.
And I just want to give a quick plug that I'm thinking of saying that. Guys, write that down. You got somebody who grew his company to $30 million. Reach out to him and see how he can help grow your moving company, knowing what restoration companies need and want, and insurance companies need and want in that industry. There's nobody better to talk to than that.
And if you haven't signed up on movifiednation.com, that is start.movifiednation.com. The link will be down below. Fill out that questionnaire. You are still have the ability to be entered in to get that Van Winkle bottle. Go grab it. Whoa, fill it out. It is delicious. It's somewhere on there. There it is. Fill it out. And you know what else is the extra perk on here? We're not just trying to push you to fill out this form and be entered to win. It also gives you an opportunity to be part of the community, be part of the Movified Nation community that's being built out. We have SOPs that are dropping, we have newsletters that are coming, and we have mastermind groups that are launching in the new year. So stay tuned. It's really exciting. And for all those, stay Movified.
Stay Movified.
Stay Movified. We've lost them. Oh my God. This always stealing. This camera, where did it go?